This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Area of genuine excitement for me, because this was a thing that I wondered why a company like Fender does certain things, and they asked me if I would jump on a Zoom call with them. Thanks to Keith for hooking that up, 5 Watt World. And when they told me about this particular range, I was very excited, because to me it's kind of what Fender is about. Now, of course, for different people, Fender might mean different things. It might mean part of your car, or it might mean a Stratocaster, mightn't it? That's a nice tweed case. I'm going to have to keep this secret for a week from now, so this is kind of my first experience seeing it. I want to move that, and so I'll just share that with you. It sent me this guitar, so technically this is sponsored. That's a very, very red case. Very cool. So this is the American Vintage Reissue 2, and trying to find as much detail as I can on it. Nice and close up. Really comfortable feeling neck. Nice amber hue to the wood. 7's in the serial number, that's nice. So the frets are vintage style, and they are 57 Strat pickups, or American Vintage II 57 Strat pickups. So that's that. I think it's a really pretty looking neck.
Okay, so I need to thank Keith at 5 Watt World because it's basically his fault that Fender sent me one of these. So what interests me about what Fender do is kind of the stuff where they are kind of looking back at the kind of guitars that people really still now try to get their hands on, whether it's like vintage stuff and the things that they built in the 50s and 60s, pre-CBS stuff. You know, that's what I think a lot of us find pretty cool about Fender. I'm not saying the Ultras and all that stuff, professionals, isn't interesting in any way. It's just that this is the stuff that grabs my interest for whatever reason. So there is a whole range of stuff. There's like a 61 Strat, there's a 63 Tele, I believe. There's a bunch of things, and you'll probably see a bunch of other videos and all of that stuff. I don't have any of the specs for this at the moment. I can just tell you what I know about it. They do have 57 pickups in there now. I know in the past they used like 57/62, like non-specific. That's the thing that's more specific now. It does have quite a nice full V neck that sort of rounds out a little bit. Not entirely dissimilar to the Eric Johnson kind of neck, maybe a little bit skinnier than that. Of course, though, this does have the 7.25 radius, as is period correct. I guess the finish of the nitro is over the frets, which kind of looks a little bit weird when you first see it, but that's how that was. Yes, nitro, I don't think there's any detail on whether there's a poly sealer or not. I know this is a thing that some people get a little bit anal about, where they kind of, you know, is it a nitro, does it have a poly coat? I don't think that's the sort of spec that Fender just let you know anyway. A single ply scratch plate. So yeah, it's basically a 57 style Strat, right? I've enjoyed playing it. It's got the maple, which for me is a little bit more difficult to play than rosewood. I find it kind of has a bit more drag on your fingers than rosewood. However, when I play with gain, I really find maple to be where it works best for me, which is, I don't know, maybe slightly surprising for me, but that's what I found with the Eric Johnson Strat as well. And this is, you know, I've been playing this guitar now for about a week, and tone-wise, playing-wise is really cool. The only little thing is that nitro kind of drag. Some slight issues that I'm not sure Fender would particularly want me to tell you about, but that is kind of what I try to do. So if you're watching this part, Fender, just don't. There are a couple little finishing flaws, so like, I guess it might be a good thing. You could spin it in a good way that it's a really thin nitro coat, but there's like a little bit here where the wood is bare, and then there's a little bit on the top of the headstock here where the wood is bare. Other than that, it's finished really nicely, and I can't find too many other imperfections. There's a slight chip on one of the nut slot things, and also there's like a little bit of a neck pocket gap, to this extent that you could, if you were so inclined, you could fold something like $1 or a £20 note and put that there. Now, I don't know, there's a bit of debate about whether neck pocket gaps are a good or a bad thing. I guess they just are a thing. You know, if that was an issue for you, if you'd spent sort of $2,000 on a guitar, I think that's the sort of thing that maybe some people would mind, some others might not. But I think some people have the opinion that having a really tight neck pocket is a good thing and increases sustain and that sort of stuff. I think chances are it doesn't make a huge difference, but it's something maybe to look out for. The case is really cool as well, this kind of tweed case. And Keith pointed out that the reason that they have tweed and brown ones is because it corresponds to whatever they were Tolexing the amps with, and that makes obvious sense, doesn't it? So because this is a 50s one, it comes with a tweed case. Aside from that, yeah, good sound guitar, stays in tune, about what you'd expect really. and I'm going to do some more videos, kind of a comparison. The most obvious comparator that I could think of was a Tokai. So I've asked Rose Morris if they'd send one up. So I've got one to do a video with that. I didn't want to do that in this video because I thought it might be a bit disrespectful. So yeah, all nitro, all that sort of stuff. Pretty cool. If you're going to ask the obvious question, if you do watch the channel, then yes, I prefer those. But it's the only maple guitar that I have in the house now, except for the Sire, which is roasted maple, so it feels a bit different. But yeah, I'll give it kind of a bit more of a play. I'm hoping that it's the sort of thing, what I found is that if you wipe the nitro down before your playing session and after, this is a thing that people have said online, that it kind of then feels a bit smoother. But I'm hoping that it's a guitar that I can get to bond with a bit more. But I think the specs are generally right for it in there. Oh, case candy, if you're into case candy. Is not, there's a warranty and a certificate of authenticity, difficult to say in the morning, and then lacquer finishes, precautions and care, a little tremolo, which is cool. Trem came set a little bit high for me, but that's how I've left it just for the review and stuff, and I've not put in the trem arm yet because I like that little silver sticker. So there are a couple little things about it that I think if I had spent the money on a guitar of this price that I would be taking another look at. But yeah, let me know which one of the American vintage ones stands out to you. I think the 61 Strat is the one that stands out most to me of the range, but I don't have a maple neck guitar, so this one kind of was the next best choice. This is a seafoam green, which sort of looks a little bit tealish, and somewhere between Sonic Blue and Surf Green, I guess, but quite a bold colour. Catch you in another video soon. Here's some more playing.